tell Bill y'all cheating on him.
Come on with it.
Tell him, Bill, y'all cheating on the hideaway.
They cheating on the hideaway. That's all right. That's all right.
They cheating on Bill. I'm going to tell Bill.
All right, we're here.
Welcome to Echo Lounge for Cowboys and Chill. This is Clarence Hill, All City, Dallas. Of course, producer extraordinaire, the Law Nation to my right.
Mr. Nation.
And to my left. I don't have to introduce him at Echo Lounge.
Yeah.
But y'all know who we're talking about.
Come on.
We're all here for Kevin Smith. Kevin Pup Smith. 3-time Super Bowl champion. Before he was a Cowboy, he was a legend at Texas A&M.
Yeah.
And he's going to be honored this weekend in Vegas. He's going into the College Football Hall of Fame. Can we get a round of applause with Kevin Smith? He's a Hall of Famer, guys. The great Kevin Smith, man. How you doing, man? How you feel?
I'm doing good, Clarence. You know, and it's a great honor, man. The most important thing is my mom is going to be able to come down. And
how old is your mom? How old is your mom?
She's 91, and
wow. That's a blessing.
She's never been to Vegas, and I was telling my sisters and my brothers and all my people. I said, listen. She can move around. She moves around, but Vegas is a different thing. It's a different animal out there, and even the casino. So she's just coming down for that day.
Wow!
And she's flying out the next morning.
She ain't gonna get on them slot machine. You know, my old folks like them slot machines, man. Y'all close to down, man. No. She ain't on them slots.
My mom, everything she told me about gambling and chasing women, I took my daddy's advice. Okay. So that's the one thing. That's one advice that she gave me. A fool and his money and gambling will soon part.
Yeah.
And you didn't listen?
Well, no, I'm not that bad. I mean, I dibble and dabble a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about the women part?
What'd you say about me and Spud?
Yeah, come on with it.
What I said about you and Spud? Spud to the left here. I just want to let y'all know. This man, Spud, and Too Tall Jones, they've been in Dallas 100 years. They ain't never been married.
Wow.
They the only Cowboys, only Mavericks.
Most eligible bachelors.
Most eligible bachelors from way back when to way back now ain't never been married. Congratulations, sir.
That's a good deal.
And Too Tall still out there, but he ain't here, though. He can't be
Don't talk about the man.
Absolutely.
still out there, but no, seriously, man. I watched you in college. We were A&M, and we talked about it earlier. You were part of, to me, the greatest era of Cowboys football in the 90s. Now, I grew up in the 70s. I grew up with Troy Aikman. I grew up with Roger Staubach and Tony Dorsett and Drew Pearson. But the 90s Cowboys, 3 Super Bowls in 4 years, that was the greatest era of Cowboys football. And just to equate it, when you were at A&M with the Wrecking Crew and what y'all did and winning those conference championships, Southwest Conference, and with all due respect to Johnny Manziel and Johnny Football, they never won shit. You guys won, and you were the greatest era of Aggies football.
I would like to think so. It's hard to argue against Roger Staubach and Harvey Martin. And, those 70s Cowboys was.
They won 2.
Yeah,
you guys won 3.
Yeah, that's right. But they were the heyday Cowboys.
No doubt. They started it all.
And those are the guys that the people, most of the people in this building, if you're a Cowboy fan or if you wasn't, you looked up to these guys. Too Tall Jones, Randy White, Mel Renfro. I mean, 60s and 70s. But we were, 90s was, unbelievable. We had so much talent. Jimmy and Onstad and all those guys, they put together a great group of guys. And we were young, too, Clarence.
No, I know.
We were young. Troy Aikman was only 24,
Y'all was the White House. Y'all was the White House Cowboys.
Yeah, man. We were like.
Y'all was really
White House. I don't know what
you're talking about the White House.
No. Y'all was the Cowboys Club Cowboys. Y'all they don't know about the.
I went to the White House one time.
One time. Yeah. You gonna tell us what happened?
Bill Clinton.
Okay, Bill Clinton.
Bill Clinton was there. Not the Cowboys.
I'm sorry. Y'all was the Cowboys Cafe Cowboys.
Which was really a brick
There's
house.
some people in here. Some people in here know about the Cowboys Cafe.
Yeah.
Y'all was the Cowboys Cafe Cowboys.
Cafe was probably one of the best times of our lives, man.
Yes.
Yeah. Great restaurant, great food.
Great food, great restaurant. It was about the food, yes.
Yeah.
Wink,
And,
wink.
Yeah, and a little more went on in there too.
Little more went on.
Yeah.
Like I said, I remember the time we was in Cancun.
Oh yeah, Cancun.
Look at that. He gazing. What's going on? Boy.
I was, as Popeye said, I was reminiscing.
Kappa
Reminiscing.
Beach Party.
Yeah. Back in the olden days, but
So Clarence, people don't know me and you go back before you became a beat writer for the Cowboys.
yes.
Clarence and a good friend, cousin of mine, Rock Nat, Michael Anderson.
Okay.
They line brothers.
Yes.
And so I was 18 years old when I met Clarence. And we go back that far, man. So that's how far we go back. We used to go to New Orleans, Cancun. And Clarence was married at one time, so he had to stop for a while. He couldn't go to all the events. Rock Nash was married too, but he went.
And he wasn't married long.
He wasn't married long. His house was empty a couple
But
times.
you was never married.
Well, my house was never empty.
There you go.
Yeah.
Emptied out. Yeah. We were in Cancun, and all I had was a 1-800 SkyTel back then.
1-800.
And so all I could do was check my voice messages.
Okay.
And so the message from Trent, who's a cute dog as well, Trent Strozier. Trent lived across the street from Mike. And Trent said, hey, man, tell Rock, she got 2 U-Hauls and it's everything coming out that house. I told him, ain't nothing you can do right now, bro. You way in Cancun, you can't go over there.
And can't do nothing about it.
So every time he left town for his trips, a wife moved out.
Wow.
First of all, he not talking about me.
I'm talking about Rock Nash.
Rock Nasty. The guy I met a couple of weeks ago. He came up this way. Yeah.
He not talking about me, but
Yeah.
So you always, I know we're gonna get this book together. You always talk about you being a brush with greatness, and you've been around great players and great coaches, from your high school coach to your college coaches and your great players you play with in college. Certainly great players you play with in Cowboys, but now people gonna say they played with you. You were the Hall of Famer. You were the great player that people played with. Just being in the Hall. Just talk about you getting recognized for your own greatness.
So Clarence and I have been talking about doing a book called A Fly on the Wall with Greatness. And so I'm the fly on the wall because I played with so many, worked and played under so many great coaches. Jackie Sherrill, Jimmy Johnson, Barry Switzer, R.C. Slocum, you name it, from top to bottom. My high school coaches are legendary. They all in the Hall of Fame. And the guys I played with. So the concept is about, these guys are great, and I know what they meant to me and what they brought to me and how they influenced me and motivated me. But I like to know what they felt about me. And that's kind of what we want to make about the book.
Right.
Trying to create that, it's a story within a story. And then it allows me to give my feedback on all the great guys I played with, like Darren Woodson or whoever Clarence wants to go interview. I don't care if you interview 100 people.
Right.
The book could be as long as you want to make it.
Yeah.
It could be 3 parts.
And
4
Deion
parts.
Sanders and people don't know.
Deion Sanders,
Yes.
Michael Irvin, Jason Garrett. We talked about Leon Lett. I was telling people Leon Lett was probably the best defensive lineman we had when I played with the Dallas Cowboys. And I love Charles Haley, but no one wrecked that middle more than Leon Lett.
Wow.
And Leon Lett actually has Hall of Fame numbers. But, he had his hiccups. But
Y'all hear
Leon
that?
Lett, it was one of the best defensive linemen we ever had that I played with the Dallas Cowboys.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just talking about your playing career. People don't know you gave Jerry Rice fits. Tell some Jerry Rice stories for people to understand. And we know Jerry Rice is a legend, and clearly by most people's standards the greatest receiver of all time. But you put a seatbelt on him at times.
Well, the one thing that I did, I was reading an article back. It was a Sports Illustrated article on Jerry Rice, and the article was him and his wife.
Right.
And his wife was saying that he wouldn't let her vacuum the carpet because he liked certain lines in the carpet. If she didn't do it right, he would redo it.
God dog.
And so that's how precise and anal he was. And if you ever watch Jerry Rice play football, after every catch, what was he always doing? Fixing his uniform, his towel.
Right.
So I knew as a young kid, 21, 22 years old covering Jerry Rice. No one can really cover Jerry Rice play by play. But you got to figure out some kind of way to steal a wheel, to figure out a way to get a wheel over him.
Okay.
And so what I would do was just tug on his uniform, pull his towel out, pull his jersey out. I would do anything because that
psychology
that irritated him more than anything.
Okay.
And so my whole philosophy when I played Jerry Rice was to piss him off, and he did. And Clarence, you know this NFC Championship game. You know, one of the biggest plays of the game, we got a personal foul against them on the first play of the game, backed them up to like the 2-yard line.
Okay.
They punted. I think K-Dub ran the ball back almost all the way back.
Right.
We scored, and the game was pretty much over in that first drive. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's all about mindset and mentality. So did you learn that from coaches, or you just kind of picked that up from a natural trait?
You pick it up.
Yeah.
I mean, when Clarence was talking about the wrecking crew, you know, we studied a lot of film. You know, football is not that. You know, a lot of these coaches make it more complicated than what it is. You know, the ball is in the air in 3 seconds. These 4 plays to the right, 4 plays to the left, and it's a route tree. It's not that much that you got to think about. And so if you study it enough and you repeat it enough and you practice on what you do best, then those are the teams that normally win. And those are the Belichicks of the world, Jimmy Johnsons of the world.
I was going to segue into that since we're talking about that. So let me know about this particular team. Do you think that they are anywhere close to the mindset that you guys were able to develop? Is that more of Jimmy Johnson / Barry, or Mike McCarthy is not in the same
different
boat?
era? And Clarence and I talked about this earlier. You know, they have a lot more. I'm to their defense, when I say the Cowboys of 2020, all the NFL players,
Right.
It's the social media, the media, outside media. I mean, like right now, it's just journalists in the media right now. You got everybody speaking and has a voice. I mean, Law Nation, no disrespect to you, but you're great. But hey, everybody has a voice about their team right now.
Facts.
And if you got a following, then your voice speaks volume. So these guys got to deal with more than that than we dealt with back in the day. All we did was we went to practice, we went to the Cowboy Cafe, and we went home.
Cowboys Cafe.
That was it.
I remember Hoes, Limos, and Papados.
Yeah.
That was training.
Wait a minute. Hoes, limos, and Papados.
That was the thing. That was the anthem. Hoes, Limos, and Papados.
Come on, man.
That was the anthem back then.
Well, that was a part of training camp.
Okay, training camp.
Yeah. But today's Cowboys, I think that inconsistent. They're not consistent enough week by week. You get a different version of what you see. And sometimes you could be trying to do too much. And when we try to do too much, the coach would be like, crap that. Let's go back to the basics. We're going to run base defense with quarters across the board. And that's what we ran. We ran it, and we ran it over and over and over again. So we just were so fast at doing it that we just dominated different teams. You know, sometimes we added a little extra here and there, but we stayed away from the gimmicks and the extra, and because we just focused on so much of what we did good.
You know, I'm glad you brought up the social media aspect that's different, because I always tell Michael all the time, you know, he wouldn't be in the Hall of Fame if they had a social media back in the 90s.
Michael Irvin would be in jail.
He said he'd be in jail.
They had social media back in the 90s.
Ended up in jail.
I'm just saying.
Oh, shit.
He had social media back in the 90s. It's just a different, just camera phones and everything that's out there. And so that's why Jerry Jones quit going out. You know? Because everybody got camera phones, and it's a different challenge on athletes today than it was then with all the social media and all the camera phones and everything else. You know, at least back in the day, you know, you could do your dirt. You know, it wasn't publicized in real time.
Not
In real time.
Yeah.
4 years later.
It came out later. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't publicized in real time.
Dennis
So,
Bedini.
yeah,
that was his name.
You know, so it's a real challenge for the players today, but everybody deals with it. You know, Kansas City deals with it.
Well, they all deal
Miami
with it.
deal with it.
Everybody-
Philadelphia deal with
everybody
it.
deals with
They
it.
winning. The Cowboys ain't winning.
The teams that can take that and stay on the funnel vision.
Right.
And the reality, the biggest problem I think with the Cowboys is, you know, Mahomes is Mahomes.
Right.
He deserves billboards.
Correct.
If you drive in the Chiefs Stadium, there should be a billboard of Mahomes. But I don't think you drive in the Cowboys to start, every guy has a 7-foot billboard.
Right.
Okay.
And when I walked into the Cowboys complex, I saw Mel Renfro.
Okay.
I saw Bob Lilly. I saw guys that had the heyday Cowboys.
Right, they won
Sixers.
something.
Won something,
And they
yeah.
were in the Hall of Fame and Ring of Honor. And so that gave me an incentive or confidence
Yeah.
to say, hey, I need to try to be on that wall someday. And hopefully I can get on that wall. But if you just put me up there and it's for marketing purposes, you can have the worst game of your life with $20 million in the bank, and you drive to work every day and see your picture on the billboard.
And-
it makes you feel pretty good.
Yeah, you're already up there and you ain't done nothing.
The message is not there.
Right.
I think
I think
it's
the
an
person.
undercut message. Yeah.
I think that the person that's delivering the message, they're not tying into it or buying into it. Think about it. You said those names, but that's Tom Landry coaching those
Right,
boys.
right,
Right?
yeah.
And in your era, you said those names, but
Right.
that's Jimmy Johnson coaching them boys.
Right.
How much do coaching plays into this matter too?
I think it's the coaching, but I also think it's not just. It's like you say, it's direction. It's a
Direction.
culture.
Yeah, culture
It's
too.
the right culture, and the Cowboys' problem, of part of their problem is I think the culture, it alters week to week, and they're not consistent with who they are, and they're not consistent on the field.
Who's the leader on this team?
Who knows?
You don't know. Who's the leader? Who's the leader when you was playing?
In many cases, Troy Aikman, we all respected the quarterback.
Troy.
The quarterback, when he walked in the room, all the hee and the ha-ha and stopped.
For real? Yeah. So Troy walk into there, everybody hush and get quiet.
But Troy,
God dog.
but he carried himself that way.
Okay.
That he gained that respect because of the way he went about his business. You know, Darryl Johnson used to say it all the time. The best guys on this team worked the hardest. You know, they were there at 8 o'clock in the morning, done by 10. You know, then you had the scragglers that came in there at 3 o'clock. But, you know, those top 10 guys, those top 10 salary guys were guys that were there first in the weight room, on the field to do the field stuff.
Right.
And they were out of there by 11 o'clock. And everybody treated it like a job, even Michael Irvin. Michael Irvin worked his butt off in the offseason.
Yeah. He was out all night,
All night.
Yeah,
but he was there in the morning.
he was there in the morning.
He just didn't sleep.
Well, he would work out and then go straight to the company.
Just gotta sweat it out.
Sweat it out.
You gotta sweat it out.
He would work out, then go to the complex.
that's
He would work out at night.
Yeah,
Not work out in the morning,
Yeah.
work out at night. But you know, it is something else. Let's talk about your Aggie days and some of the great players you played with, and you know, we know about just Roper and some of those guys that you played with, and how special it was during that time there.
it was great. You know, again, that wrecking crew defense. You're talking about John Roper, Aaron Wallace, William Thomas, Marcus Buckley. I can name all the linebackers. We were at the time linebacker. Quentin Coriat, Dak
Right.
Wynn, Adam Bob, Johnny Holland. You know, he just passed away. Can't think his name. Played with the Rams. Larry Cam.
Yeah.
I mean, so all these guys were first, second, third round picks, and then you had Sam Adams, you had Aaron Glenn, first round, Patrick Bates. You know, I can just go on and on and on about how much talent we were getting down the college
Is
station
that
back
the
in day.
big Sam Adams that played in the
Yes,
middle
yes,
of the Ravens?
Yeah, Sam
I
Adams.
didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't know he went to the A&M.
Yeah.
Sam Adams.
That's a
was
big
in
boy
it.
right there.
Yeah, he played his freshman year. He was a freshman my senior year, and he was dominant. I mean, he was a dominant guy then. You know, of course, he played NFL, Baltimore, played with
Baltimore,
the Raiders.
yeah.
Who else did he play with? Seattle for a while.
When he with Green Bay for a minute?
He got drafted by Seattle. Remember him and Cortez Kennedy?
Cortez Kennedy.
They were
that big
side
boy,
by
yeah.
side. So so the talent was it was all over the place. But back then, Clarence, we didn't really run a fancy offense, and most of our defensive players were the best players. They were offensive players that we converted to defensive players. You know, Johnny Holland was a quarterback. William Thomas was a quarterback. You know, I played receiver pretty much more in high school than I did defensive back. And so we put all our best guys on defense, and we won a lot of games like that. You know, as with the wrecking crew, Chet Brooks, Jeff Fuller. You know, the list goes on and on and on. In Texas, you know, Clarence Shaw had some good guys then. But we were winning in recruiting battles back then. I don't know
No.
why. and how, but we were.
Did they recruit you too?
Yes, they did, but they took a guy named Willie McGarza over me, and I made him pay.
Made them pay.
Yeah.
See?
Willie
See?
Mack, that's my dog.
I love
from
Willie
Refugio, man. I love
Refugio, Texas.
From Refugio, Texas.
Yeah.
I had something to say. I'm just going.
Go on, and look, hold on. Get
Gig 'em versus hook 'em.
Get your little last Saturday out right now.
Come on,
Listen,
get it out. Yeah.
What was it like being in that stadium and watching Texas dominate?
I was busy.
What was you doing busy? Because you know, right now,
I was
still
watching
mad.
watching my daughter play basketball.
You weren't while you was at the stadium.
No, I wasn't at the game.
You didn't go to the game.
No, I was watching my daughter play basketball.
Man, stop it. You was at the game watching your daughter play basketball.
I saw three plays. the reverse on targeting
Stop it.
and a few more bad calls.
There's
That's all I saw.
Bad
you
calls.
just saw the bad calls.
That's all I saw.
I mean, it was everybody.
Okay.
The fake army, the core.
Yeah,
fake
core.
fake
Yeah.
army. They was doing all this stuff they was trying to do. It still wasn't enough. You know, Texas came in and was still big brother. It's okay.
That's all right.
That's okay. I'm not. We're not here about that.
No.
Now we're about hear about your time and about you and how special it was. The coaches you played under, Jackie Sherrill and R.C. Soklem and Jimmy Johnson. Just talk about them for a minute.
Well, the funny thing about that coaching tree is Jackie Sherrill was a coach at Pittsburgh 1976.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tony Dorsett and Dan Marino was his players. On that staff was Jimmy Johnson, Dave Wannstedt, Tony Wise,
Yeah.
Joe Avizano, Dave Campo, Bob Davey, and to name a few guys. That was basically they split. Jimmy went to Oklahoma State.
Right.
Him and Jackie fell out for years because he left kind of during the bowl season.
Right.
Jackie left and went to Texas A&M. So basically, I played under the same system and thought process of coaches.
Right.
So when Jimmy called Jackie or RC, they said, "Oh yeah, he fits right in because you guys pretty much do
The same.
Y'all got the same philosophy and the process.
There he is right there.
and the thought process. And I want that Trans Am back too, Dickerson.
Eric, is Aggie? Come here, man.
I need that maroon
Come
Trans
on.
Am back.
Come here right quick. Go on, sit down. I got to put you on
Well,
program.
we got another legend here.
How you doing, my brother?
Got another
I
legend
need
Sit
here.
down
that
right
maroon
quick.
Trans Am back.
Boy, I'm telling you,
Sit down right quick.
I got to give him one of these too. There.
ED, you looking good, my brother.
Thanks, brother. How you doing?
I got to
How
give
you
him.
doing?
Give me my theme music.
There you go. All right. Give him that welcome call.
This is a Pro Football Hall of Famer, Eric Dickerson,
I guess
SMU great.
Yeah.
Playoff.
Listen, in
Playoffs.
the NIL era, the NIL era,
Yeah.
Eric took money from Texas A&M and drove it all the way to SMU.
that's a lie.
What?
That's not true.
His
What?
I didn't take no money from them.
I mean, you took their car,
But the car's different from
they
money.
Trans
I
Am.
took their Trans Am, but I ain't
You
take their
took a
money.
Trans Am from Texas A&M and drove it to SMU. And they
said-
talk about the NIL era today.
Hey, look. It was,
Now, they call NIL being NAS legal because when SMU did it, it wasn't legal, and they got the death penalty. Now they back.
well, first of all, you're right. It was not. It wasn't legal, but it should have been legal.
It
should have been.
It should
It's
have
should always been
It should
legal.
have been always legal for sure. But you know, it is what it is. I didn't give them the death penalty.
No.
No, thank you. At least you can admit that.
No, you didn't do it. It was the governor.
Yeah, I was in college. I was in the pros. when I got the death penalty.
Bill Hansen was off there.
Yeah, it was the governor. It was the
But
governor,
that
man.
mug, he was the one who,
Yeah.
like, I don't know what he had a grudge against us, but anyway.
Listen, I just want y'all. This is special. We got two Texas high school football legends. Can y'all give a round of applause for two Texas high school football legends, state champions, everything. Eric is from Sealy, Texas, right outside of Houston.
Right outside of Houston.
He was a Sealy Comet.
Sealy Tigers.
Tigers.
You was a Sealy Comet, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, whatever. Yeah.
You was a Sealy Tiger, but you was a Sealy Comet because you did that thing. And I remember you running track. I grew up in a small town not far from Sealy.
Where'd you grow up at?
Schulenburg, you know that.
Oh, yeah, I ran track against this guy from Schulenburg. That boy had some big-ass feet.
Willis Adams and Myron Hardeman and all of them.
Oh, that boy, I know. I forgot who. He had some big feet. I know that guy.
Really?
Eric, did y'all play El Campo back in your day?
Nah, we didn't play El Campo.
They were smaller?
We were probably smaller. We were actually 2A.
2A, okay.
Yeah, 2A when I was there.
El Campo, the Rice Birds, wasn't it?
No.
Yeah, the Rice Birds.
Yeah, it was Rice Birds.
Yeah.
Yes, it's right.
That's the mascot of Rice Birds?
Rice
Yeah.
Birds.
Oh, really? No, we were the Tigers. Matter of fact, I'm going to I'm driving up to Austin tomorrow to watch Sealy play in the playoffs.
Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah.
See, that's the beautiful thing about Texas. You always keep a connection with your high school.
Oh, for sure. I mean, that's where I got started at. The Tigers. That's where I got my start.
And then you became a SMU Mustang.
A Mustang, and then became a Ram and a Colt and all that other crap.
And you still hate the Cowboys. He hates the Cowboys. He hates the Cowboys. Who you hate more, the Cowboys or the Longhorns?
The Longhorns. The Longhorns. That's an easy one.
You hate the Longhorns?
I hate them. I can't stand them. Man, when A&M played them, I was like, what the hell are y'all doing? I'm pulling for A&M like I played there.
Yeah.
You got paid to play there.
Where?
A&M.
No, I didn't. I ain't get no money. Man. You know why I hate Texas so much?
Tell me why you hate
the way they
Texas.
recruited me, and I make a quick story out of it. When they recruited me, they came to my house, and Fred Akers was the head coach, and they had four other coaches, three or four coaches came to my house, and the guy was talking to me, and they knew I liked Oklahoma, I liked USC, and SMU. I wasn't thinking about them, but he came up, and one of the coaches said, "Come on, let me talk to you for a minute." He took me back in the back room. He said, "Son," he said, "you thinking about Oklahoma? We know you like Oklahoma." I said, "Yes, I do." He said, "Barry Switzer is screwing all his coaches' wives." I'm like,
He was.
I'm like, I didn't have I didn't got to do with that.
Yeah.
And then he says, SC's a long way away, and he said, SMU will never, ever beat us. And let me tell you something else. If you don't consider your state school, we'll make sure you don't get a job in the state of Texas when you come
They
out of high
did you
school.
like that.
Dang.
Man, and that man said, I said, what? He said, yeah. He said, I said, really? He said, yeah. And I told him, F you.
Yeah.
And I walked back and told my mother to make them leave. They left, and she said, what did that white man say to you? I told him, he told me I couldn't get a job in the state of Texas if I didn't go to school. He said, you'll never go to school there. And I've never liked them ever since. So, but hey, they're a good school. I give them credit. I mean, they're a good school. But, I know how they treat some of the brothers over there,
Well, how they treat them?
All of them.
All of them PWIs.
All of them.
No doubt.
Yeah,
They finna win the SEC though, but we're gonna leave that alone right now.
Texas, they might win it. I don't know. Hey, wait. Let me ask you this question. Maybe you can answer this. So, okay. So if they win, who they play this? Georgia.
Yeah.
They play Georgia this week.
Okay. Let's say they beat Georgia and we beat Clemson. Do we play them or who?
I don't know how the bracket goes on, but I think I'm glad you brought. I'm glad you brought
got a bye.
SMU up.
SMU would probably get a bye.
We will get a bye.
You will get a bye. I'm happy. Yeah.
Texas
Anybody,
will get a
all
bye,
the
too.
champions will get a bye. If you're top 4 seed, you can get a bye.
Yeah.
But I'm really happy for SMU and what they're doing.
Oh man, they've done
The
a great
success
job.
they've done.
They've done a great
You
job.
know, the way you came into the conference, people didn't know you was that good. You're not taking money.
We don't need their money. You see that?
Clearly, y'all get that Highland Park money is long.
It's long.
It was long back then. That Highland Park money is still long.
Yeah, it's long
Y'all
back
ain't. Florida State trying to sue, talking about they letting SMU in, and they the worst in the conference.
They sorry, but that's okay. I mean, Florida State was a powerhouse at once upon a time. Everybody go through a cycle. I mean, Texas was down for a while. I mean,
Yeah.
everybody goes through a cycle. Look at USC.
No doubt. You live out in LA. LA, you're right there with it. But what SMU has done this year, I don't think anybody could see that coming.
Nobody saw it coming. I didn't even see it coming. I thought we won about 8 or 9 games. I did. I said, man, maybe 9 games. But I didn't know we got that much talent. I mean, because when I asked Red about it, he said that they got 9 players from Miami, like 2 from Auburn, some from Texas, one on defensive back, some from Stanford. A lot of skill guys.
Yeah. They went to the portal.
They went to the portal.
Plus the quarterback.
The quarterback right here in Oak Cliff.
Yeah.
And they're getting a lot of guys to stay at home. They get a lot of Dallas kids to stay at home.
That's it. That's the secret. They're getting kids to stay at home, not leaving the state.
No, it is a beautiful thing. It's good. It's good for the city. I'm repping the city. The Mavericks. And that Triple D. They're just embracing Dallas. Which they didn't. I don't know if they did all the time, but they're embracing Dallas on their.
You talking about SMU?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, look. I mean, we wasn't serious about football. I mean, that was the deal. I mean, and I just got to say that came from the president of the school. He was not serious about football, and now he's retired. They're kind of pushing him out because they spending his money,
Right.
and they're like, hey, we want to win, and then winning. And he was at the thing last night with them, and it's funny. He says, enrollment is up 40%. I went, damn, really? I'm shocked. I'm shocked.
Everybody wants to go to SMU.
Yeah, I'm shocked. It was like that. Any schools like that. Like my friend Chris Hale, who went to USC, he said Alabama's roster got more California kids than they doing it from Alabama.
Yeah, USC, right.
Yeah. So that's not a good deal when the kids leave the state.
Yeah, we're here today to celebrate Kevin Smith going to College Football Hall of Fame. I know you're already in there. Just talk about what it means to be a college football. I know you're a Pro Football Hall of Famer, but what it means to be what does it mean to be a College Football Hall of Famer? Because we know what you did at SMU, and just tell Kevin about being a College Football Hall of Famer.
Well, for me, first of all, it took forever for me to get in. I mean, like I did something wrong. But I'll say, Kevin, man, the thing is that you know what your college meant to you, how you played college football. And you didn't start there, you started in high school, but you still have an affection for your college and the things you did in college. I mean, I'm sure you got buddies.
You met brotherhood.
There you go.
Lifetime friends.
It's a brotherhood. It is like a lot of my college buddies.
Harvey Armstrong.
Right. I'm gonna see him Saturday.
Yes.
The thing is that you always hang out with those guys, but still your college career. That's how you got started into your pro career. And when you go there, and you see some of your highlights, just show some of your highlights, you're like, damn, man, look how I used to do it. I could do it back then.
I didn't know I could move like that.
It makes you feel good. It really does. So it's like I want to say pretty much a stamp, on your career.
Hey, I'm gonna give my Eric Dickerson story, man.
Give you
Growing up as a kid and watching Eric get recruited in the Pony Express, him and Craig James, and afterwards Reggie DuPont and Malcolm Haney and all that.
Right.
I was an SMU fan. Tim Green was from Orange, Texas. Yeah, so Tim Green was a guy I looked up to as well. But we played, you was playing with the Raiders then, Eric, and we played in what's the stadium y'all played in?
Coliseum.
So Eric comes through a C-gap backside counter, and I'm back there. I'm 175 pounds, and here come them goggles.
Yeah, them goggles.
Like, I got to tackle Eric Dickerson. And I just kind of hit his leg. And so after the game, my father, they flew out there to the game. I got a lot of aunts out there living in Inglewood. And so my dad said, well, how was it? He said, well, how was the game? I said, it was a good game. I think we beat y'all that day. He said, well, how was it? How did it feel tackling Eric Dickerson? I said, I didn't tackle him. I think he tripped. Because I didn't want to tackle him.
Right.
Yeah.
This is a great Eric Dickerson running on the backside. You ran the counter, came back to the stick. Yeah, counter tray. And I'm like, man, I'm on the field. That's when it really hit me, when I'm on the field with Eric Dickerson.
Yeah.
Not only was he a great running back in the NFL, the Colts and the Rams, and he was at the Raiders at the latter part of your career.
Right.
But y'all had Big Nick. What was the Big Nick?
Nick Bell.
Nick Bell, the biggest running back I've ever seen
That
in
was
my
a big
life.
boy.
And I'd rather tackle Eric than Nick Bell, because Nick Bell was about 260
That
back
boy,
then.
Wow.
That was a big boy.
And but the Raiders, y'all used to come to Austin every year.
We go to scrimmage.
It was scrimmage,
yeah.
for a whole week.
Yep, scrimmage.
And we bonded, man. We God, what's my guy name? I can't think of this cornerback, 29. Albert Lewis.
Yeah,
Kansas City
Chiefs.
McDaniel and all those guys. So we actually had some great times. A lot of fights, but we really got along well back then. But to watch Eric Dickerson from a little boy, I was a little younger than Eric.
Yeah.
But to play against and be on the same field, hey man, you were the best, bro.
Well, thanks, brother.
One of the best to ever done it.
Yeah, before we get it, we've been there a long time. I know you got something to say.
No, I was going to ask him about that, but go ahead.
You play with a lot of pads. I mean, these kids today they don't want to play with no pads.
Neck bro.
They don't play with no pads. You had you had every pad to issue on, and it didn't slow you down. I mean, you had every pad to issue, everything on. Let's talk about playing with all them pads. Because today they don't want to play with. They don't want thigh pads. They don't want knee pads.
That's why they stay hurt.
They don't want nothing.
Well, I can tell you, I had a neck roll. I had a flak jacket.
Yeah.
I wore the hip pads. I wore the butt pads, thigh, knee. I had the shin guards at first when I first came in the league.
Yeah.
Right.
I had the elbow pads. I had my wrist tape.
Yeah.
And the goggles I had to see. I did to see. But yeah, I wore. No, it didn't slow me down. I mean.
Yeah, because a lot of people think it slows you down.
Man,
but you were just big, fast, country fast. It ain't slow you down.
I was fast. Let me tell you, first of all, Hey, bro, they be hitting out there. Shit, they
Yeah.
ain't messing around. Oh, shit, they be hitting. Y'all at home talking about, I could have made it through that hole. You get your ass knocked out. Trying to get that hole. Shoot. They be hitting.
Eric, what'd you run in the 100 yards in the high school? Did you run track?
Yeah, I ran a 100-yard dash.
course.
Well, in the 100-yard dash, I ran. Matter of fact, I ran a 100-yard dash for the quarterfinal, semifinal before you go to state. And then they went to meters. I ran a 9-400-yard dash.
Oh, wow.
And then when we ran the meters, I ran a 10-100 meter. But my race, I really liked the 200 meter.
Okay,
I was
you were big and long.
Yeah. Big and long.
I was 20
Yeah,
points.
long
But
strider,
I won the 100 in state and the 100 and the 200. But I
Yeah.
like the 200 meter. But I mean, I don't know, that 200 is just like I could cruise it and then all of a sudden I could show you.
Yeah, you can drop that hammer down.
Here it comes, yeah.
Let me ask you this then. So both of you guys, you were talking about training camp. Austin, Texas.
Oh, my God.
It's not like Oxnard. What's that weather was like that then?
I can tell you right now, Eric probably agree with this.
Yeah.
We probably could get a class action lawsuit and get 3 more years put on our careers for how we practice compared to the way they practice right now.
Right now.
Because we were going 2 days back to back, and then I don't remember getting no day off or no walkthroughs.
They get a day off every 3 days.
Yeah, we didn't. I mean, it was like they ran us in the ground. I think practice. I know Jimmy Johnson's practice were like that, and Eric and them didn't. Al Davis gave him a little break. He took care of his
Oh,
veterans.
Al Davis
Al
was
Davis.
quarterback.
Man.
But y'all practice in Oxnard, right?
Huh?
The Raiders.
We practiced. No, we
Thousand
practiced-
Oaks, something like that?
Yeah,
No,
we
they was in
practiced.
Oxnard.
We was in Oxnard.
Oxnard.
But
Okay.
forget that. I'm gonna go back to when I was the Rams now.
Right.
When you come to
Jack
the
Robinson.
league?
I got 92.
Oh, so
Yeah.
that was my last year.
Yeah.
So I played 2 more years after that.
Yeah.
Man, let me tell you something. Y'all had it kind of easy then because when I came in the league, you were 2 weeks before the veterans showed up. So you came camp 6 weeks, and it was full pads morning and evening.
Yeah, that's
morning and
crazy.
evening. And I won't forget, it was 2 weeks. It was like 10 days straight, and I said, fuck this. I'm quitting. I was going to quit. I really was. Matter of fact, it was a guy named Otis Grant with the Michigan State. It was in morning practice. I said, man, Otis, nice meeting you, brother. I said, I'm out of here.
Yeah,
He said, really? I said, man, I'm out of here. I said, it's stupid.
Yeah.
So I went back to my room, called my mom, talking to her. She said, how's it going? I said, man, it's tough out here. I said, I think I'm going to come home. She said, what? She said, first of all, I don't like that football, but you ain't bring your ass home. She said, stay your ass in and suck it up. And so, I mean, it was hard. I mean, but it was. You just got used to it after a while, and think about it. Remember how sore you would be?
Oh, my God.
Man, I'm so sore. There's no way I could practice again. There's no way.
Let me ask you this then. So now there's a lot of season-ending injuries. Did you guys have the same equivalency during that time frame when y'all was playing? Because I've seen a lot of season-ending injuries.
Guys got hurt, but we didn't have a lot of the muscle.
We didn't have a lot of non-contact
issues.
injuries.
Yeah.
Like these guys, they
Groins.
blow a knee out, they blow their groin. I mean, they blow
That
Achilles.
turf and stuff, man. I think the turf makes it a big
Y'all
difference.
thinking what it is, the turf?
I think it's overpractice. I think it's overworking them because, okay, think about it.
Wait a minute. Wait, you just talking about you guys was overworked.
No, but that was just during the
camp.
season of
Okay.
the football. Okay, now when football ended, when football was over, they didn't see us until mini camp
all the
in May.
OTAs and all the other stuff.
Oh, we had none of that stuff. We didn't have all that stuff. We had when after the
You had
draft.
1 or 2 mini camp. Yeah.
We had one, and they would see you. But that was in the draft. That was
Right,
in the
right.
draft.
Right after the draft,
One,
yeah.
and then that was it. Until you come
Yeah,
to
there wasn't
training
no
camp.
such thing as quarterback schools
No.
and all that.
Oh, okay.
Because I think your body gets tired. I don't think there's a lot of young athletes now. I said, man, when you start working out? Because I had a cousin that played. He said, well, the season ends. I start a month after. I'm like, a month? I'm like, really?
Yeah, you don't get no time
You don't
off.
get no time off. Your body like, okay, you feel like you're all right. I'm hurting.
And the
That's
older
what I
you
think.
get, the less you have to. The
Do all of
weights.
that,
Oh
yeah.
man, the squatting and all that. When you get 8-9 years in the league, you got to just maintain. You got to recover. You don't worry about getting stronger. You don't need to be lifting 500 pounds or bench pressing.
That's the truth. Oh, they scored.
Yeah, they did. They're making it a game
It's all
now.
about recovery.
Yeah, it's a game, man.
Speaking of it's a game now, there's a guy that's close to getting some crazy numbers out there called Saquon Barkley.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. What's your thoughts on Saquon Barkley? Do he have a chance?
Of course he has a chance. I'll say this much.
Break your record is what he's talking about now.
He got a chance.
It would put an asterisk by it if it happened on the
What do you
17th
mean,
week.
this year?
Yeah, if it's the 17th week, do you really
how
count
many does
it?
he have right now? About 1,300?
He got
He'll
14,
take-
14
yeah.
something.
Yeah.
14
Nah, he
something.
ain't gonna break no record.
Yeah. I mean, the way they run the football, he could, but I'll
Yeah.
say this much here. The thing is that I did it. OJ did it in 14. I always say that because that was my guy. That's why I played running back, and I give him that. I did it in 15 with one extra game to play, so I had a 2105.
Okay.
So that's how it came about. If he breaks it, I don't want him to break my record, but if he does, shit, I ain't gonna lose no sleep over it.
You had it for a long time.
40 years, this shit. 40 years. But I'm gonna tell you, I've always said the one that I don't think anybody will break is my rookie rushing record. 1,800 yards as a rookie, 20 touchdowns.
20.
As a rookie, think about that. Rookies rookies don't get a chance to do that. I didn't think I was gonna do it. I mean, I didn't plan on doing that. So, but if he breaks it, he breaks it. Do I want him to break it? Hell no.
I like keep real, man. Hey, guys.
It's funny. I mean, we can end it too. We were talking earlier about the Pony Express and how you shared the backfield with
Craig James.
Mm-hmm. And I was telling him, I say, hey man, you it probably helped your career more because you didn't have to tote the load as much you could have got those carries in college and not had those carries in the NFL. And that's the thing that happened to Zeke, I think, is Jason Garrett ran him in the ground his first 3 or 4 years.
I can tell you for sure, 100%. Matter of fact, when I left college, I had no injuries. Right. I had no injuries. I mean, my senior year, I carried the ball 201 times for 1,679 yards.
Yeah.
7 yards to carry.
Right.
When I got to the pros, I had no injuries. I mean, I still haven't had a surgery.
Fresh.
I was fresh. I was fresh. Yeah. I mean, that takes. And I didn't appreciate it until like my senior year. I'm like, okay, this. It's kind of. It was almost easy.
Yeah.
And I got to the pros. I was ready to go.
Yeah. Wow.
Well, listen, I appreciate you showing up and popping on real quick. I need to get you a drink over here.
Yeah, you do. You need to put some gas in my car. I didn't know it was so damn far out here. I'm like, God,
Drink out here. But we're here to celebrate Kevin Smith.
Come on with it.
Going into the College Football Hall of Fame.
Congratulations.
Cowboys and Chill will be back next week, man.
Come
Thank
on
you,
with
man.
Pull for the ponies this week.
Pull up on them ponies.
Come on. Yeah.